Welcome back, Yeehaw crew. It's your captain, Yeehaw Yadam, and I'm back with another gameplay commentary video. So it's looking like this has just become Oden week. January's 16th week is just the week of the Oden. And honestly, I'm having a lot of fun. He's a really cool leader. I know a lot of people are saying it's basically a reskinned Uses Captain Kid deck, but honestly, we have very limited cards. The only cards that really make Oden are using the Wano country cards as much as possible, which I tried to today by playing Denjiro in place of the X-Drakes. As I said in my vlog video, the X-Drakes were just super underperforming, and Denjiro actually was awesome, dude. That card is insane. Kinemon is an absolute beast of a card, and things like that. The only issue that I'm having with Oden is sometimes I'm finding, just because of my personal style of gameplay, that I'm having a difficult time finishing the game versus my opponent. I do play very passive. I don't consistently swing with leader, because I just don't want to give people advantage, right? I want to keep all the advantage on my side and try to use what I can as a green player in terms of my field spells, Momonosuke and Jewelry Bonnie, to gain advantage in the long game and potentially win. I really wanted to showcase this video because it is versus one of what I believe is the harder matchups in terms of Purple. Purple, if you don't put a lot of pressure on them, they can just freely drop the 10 drop over and over again. And I wanted to show this gameplay, this game, because specifically it went from what I thought was a completely lost position to a win just because I was able to sneak a couple of things in. So let's get right down to it. And I believe my opponent won the die roll and forced me to go first. So it truly be what it be. You know, I don't want to really be going first as Oden, especially into Purple, because there's a lot of really strong cards that they get value of. But I did have a really nice curve. I've had the Momo straight up into the Okiku, which I can't complain. So I'm going to go 5 here, see how he reacts. And he pitches a Queen, which is awesome for me. Honestly, I'm down. Queen is a humongous issue, but Okiku being on the board is an issue for him if he wants to go ahead and play his Queen. I will take the draw here because I just need card advantage. He by going second, he can swing at me with 6 and then play the Oni and then still be okay in tempo. But I didn't mind. I go ahead and tap my Momo here because now as he's going to, I believe, he should be going to 7. So I believe I'm going to get 7 dropped. I'm afraid of the 7 drop, so I go ahead and play the Momo here. Try to get him to swing at the Momo as opposed to my face and give me time. If he's going to go ahead and clear 2 creatures, he's going to either clear the Momo plus a 3 drop, which we have Raizo and Okiku. So I didn't mind it whatsoever. So he swung at my Momo. He worked as a blocker and as a searcher, right? Draw a card and block a card. I'm down. No one's going to complain about that at this point in time. If I get to slow his game plan down, then we're in a good spot. So he's going to go ahead and tap 6. And that's Brachio Bomber. Brachio Bomber is going to go ahead and clap the Okiku and then go ahead and play the Oni and then go all the way to a bajillion Dawn, right? So we're getting 10'd. There's nothing we can do, so it's really tough here. I don't really know what more I can do. I'm going to go give another card in hand here. But again, I don't want to overcommit into any single card, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the 7. And the 7 is going to go ahead and prompt a 10 drop, right? If he doesn't have the 10 drop on this board, then I'm in a really good spot. The 7 basically solos Purple on itself. I see him grab all his Dawn, and I knew immediately I was sad. He goes ahead and chops the 10 drop. I'm sorry for the glare. And he goes 5 to face. I take it because I just need some sort of answers. I don't really know how I stop this, right? He got the 10 drop legitimately on curve. He went first, Oni, Brachio, 10. Very cool and based gameplay, honestly. So I'm all the way up to what it is 9 Dawn here. So I'm going to go ahead and Bonnie here. Bonnie is going to find me an answer, right? So I do end up dropping a couple cards. I go ahead and add the Law. I look at my hand again. I do have the Uses Captain Kid, and maybe we can finagle a way out of here. So I'll go ahead and play the Law to replay the Bonnie, to activate the Bonnie. I just need to activate cards to get time, right? And I know this is looking like really weird, but that's just life, right? So I'll add the Bonnie to my hand. I have a bunch of really nice cards that I can go ahead and activate. I'll play the Bonnie. I'll activate Oden to pitch the Kinemon because Kinemon isn't coming down anytime soon, and I'd be able to hold up 2 Dawn, right? So I start presenting on Gibson very early in this game. He's going to go 5 at my Bonnie. I'll take this block here with the Law, right? We're chilling. I don't want to let that Bonnie go. If he wants to commit something and commit the 12, as long as the 12 isn't coming at my face, I'm okay with it. I'm also okay with rating my Law for the 12 attack, because then when I drop the 8 drop on the following turn, I then have double Bonnie behind the 8 drop, which I let the Law go. We're cool, right? This is part of the game plan. And that is kind of what I want to do. He's going to go ahead and play another Queen. He's going to tap the Oni here, and look at how many cards he has in hand, right? This is looking really really rough for the good guys. Kaido is definitely taking care of Oden, which is, you know, kind of thematic here. And I'll finally go with the 10 Dawn, right? I'm going to go ahead and tap my Bonnie. Bonnie, I'm looking more for like veggies, really low to the ground searchers, and just to like chump block them hard. And then give myself some time. If I can get some time to rip some cards, I go ahead and I drop the 8 drop here. I have 1 Dawn active. Right, I need to use that Dawn to equip it to the 8 drop. Then I can use Oden's effect. Right? Yep, and then I'll use Oden. I'll pitch another card here. I'm trying her out. She's weird. I don't know how much I liked her. The idea was her late game. That's like a late game push, right? So if you have Okiku Kinemon, you go Okiku swing, Kinemon restand, Okiku swing, play her, swing, and it's just like, that's a lot of damage coming your way. But at this point, it was just a 1k counter in hand, and I didn't want to do that. So this board state doesn't look terrible, right? So I just have to protect the 8 drop for a couple turns here, and we're in a good position. It goes 12 into the 8, I'm down. And again, presenting Punk Gibson, I'm cool with it. Goes and attaches everything and goes into the 8 drop, and if I can block this attack, then we're fine. So I'll go Punk Gibson, 2k, 1k. I mean, that eats my entire hand, but I do have double Bonnie, right? And then he's fully tapped out. So I need to take this turn to really do a little bit of damage. And I found another veggie. God bless America, brother. So we're going to grab a Law here because we're just going to start flipping these Bonnies to gain my hand back in order to potentially finagle a way into the game. So I'll go 5 at face. He'll take it, right? Because he's afraid of me just using my 8 drop to deal with his board. So I go 9. He takes it again. I go Bonnie. Bonnie's going to go ahead and find me a killer. And now I have killer plus Law plus veggie, and I'm in a pretty solid spot. So I'll go ahead and tap 5. I'll play the Law to add back the Bonnie, to play the killer, to add a Dawn to the killer. Then I'll go ahead and tap 1 to play the veggie. And I'll pass turn here. So I have 3 blockers, the 8 drop, and I've established board state again. I'm in a pretty solid spot, right? So this looks like a really nice board to potentially win the game. And then he just drops another 10 drop, which is such is life, eh? But that's fine. He goes 5 at my face. I have 3 cards in hand. I need to just draw cards, and it's just another Bonnie in life. America, dude. So we'll go Bonnie. And this is just like Bonnie showcase, right? So Bonnie will add the 7 drop. There is something to be said about adding killer here. It's just a really tough choice, right? Because I commit my entire turn to the 7 drop, which isn't bad. He can take 2 damage from me on the next turn really easily, right? He puts a lot of Dawn on Kaido and 12, and I can't really stop those hits efficiently. So I go for just a quick 5. Again, just baiting hand, constant 5 pressure. Give me those 2Ks. Give me those 2Ks. So I still have a ton of Dawn to work with here, and these turns are just getting harder and harder for me, right? Because I know that the burn is coming. So I'll go ahead and I'll tap 7. I'll still have 1 up. And I believe I just, I use Oden's effect to gain 2, and I'll pass. Like, I could have played a Bonnie there, but again, I'm trying to play around the 7 drop, because the 7 drop, if it removes 2 Bonnies, then I'm surely out of the game. And again, I wanted to present Punk Gibson. Once again, I've just been presenting Punk Gibson for like 5 or 6 turns. Even if I don't use it, these Kinemons in my hand aren't really going to do much. He goes 6 at Bonnie, and yeah, that's not going at life, so I'm chilling. Cool with that. He goes 12 at life. I must take this. He can't really burn here because that's kind of troll. And then he plays this 2-drop blocker, and I'm like, Again, getting kind of cute with it. We'll go 5 at face. He'll give me a 1, and I'll put 1 Dawn under the 7. And there's no reason not to, right? I have Cat Viper in hand, so if I really wanted to push, I can go ahead and do so. He's like, man, how many Bonnies have you played? And it's like, yeah, I know. It's been a lot of Bonnie interaction in this game. I ain't gonna lie. So I think I grabbed the Law here, right? Because the Law will let me recycle the Bonnie, play the killer that I've added, and then I have 2 blockers, which is like pretty safe. And if I can hold the Gibson, then I'm in a nice spot. Yeah, so Law will come down. And then, oh no, I don't have the killer, JK. I think I do replay the Bonnie here. It's just, again, it's a really weird set of turns here that like somehow that I have to finagle just to stop these 10 drops, right? I've had to completely use my hand, exhaust my hand he played 1 10 drop to destroy it, and I rebuilt, looked like in a good board, and he 10 dropped me again, and that's just Kaido, man. Purple be purple, and as they say, But I have had like a steady stream of poopy cards. Then I'll go 8 face, which will prompt the spell. And then I will go Bonnie for 2. And Bonnie will get me a Veggie, and I'm kind of cool with this. This is dope. And I will use Oden's effect to pitch the Momo to up 2 again. And then the 7-drop will already stand. I have 2 blockers to his 2 attacks, as well as a presenting Punk Gibson. Right, so again, Punk Gibson will deal with his blocker. It's like I have Neko on my turn if I have to use it. So it's kind of interesting. 5 is a lot of Dawn. He's at 10 Dawn. Like unironically at 10 Dawn here again. But purple. The fact that we're still in this game and like presenting damage is kind of crazy. He also has a ton of cards in hand. So he goes and places a bajillion cards in hand. Actually, but it goes at Bonnie. And I'm like, cool. Right? He could choose to burn me here. If he goes and chooses to burn me, then I will just block and then use Punk Gibson and then just big chillin'. And then he plays another 2-drop blocker, which is a 1k in hand for me, so I'm kind of cool. I'm kind of chilling. And then he's thinking if he wants to attack or not, and he chooses to not attack, playing around the Punk Gibson here. So I draw a Kinemon. And I have a cat in play. So there is only one way to get to lethal, right? And I'm going to 5 him here. See how he wants to interact with this 5. Right, and I'm starting to waste his resource. He has 2 cards up, so there's nothing really that I can do. I'll go 8. He'll use his blocker, which is absolutely fine. And then I'll go ahead and tap 6 here for Kinemon. And he's going to go ahead and read it. And I'll tap this Veggie. I still have 2 up for the Punk Gibson. That's the last card in my hand. Presenting it one last time. I have Punk Gibson. So he's back to 10 Dawn. If I can just survive this turn, a mixture of Cat Viper, Kinemon, and Gaming might be able to get me there. So he'll just burn me at the start of the turn. So not much I can do there. He'll gain the Dawn off of Oni. The 12k is just simply going to get blocked by my boy here. And he summoned Chungus and burned, right? He summoned Chungus, burned, so he used the 7 efficiently. He goes for 7, and then that just is the easiest Punk Gibson of my life. And that suspends his blocker. And now here it is. The game is now, this is my last turn. I have 1 card in hand. It does not matter what happens here because I must try and win, right? Well, I have 2 because of life, but who cares? Cards are irrelevant. So I go ahead and attach 4 here, and I swing at lead. That is present me a 2k. It's not just present me a 2k, it's present me 2 2ks. I'll go ahead and attach, so that's 7. 7 restand, a 7. Yeah, buddy. So you're gonna have to start showing me some cards. And I still have Oden, I still have Law, and I still have the kid. And from here, he takes that life, and then I have to really think about how I want to do this damage. I wanted to kind of attach it, but you know what? Give me a 1k. He gives me the 1k, I go 7. And then he still has 1 Dawn up, presenting Blast Breaths, but he's going to have to deal with another 7, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 11 on the Eustace Captain Kid. Right, which I just do not think it's feasible with the cards that he has in hand, right? So I'm presenting on another 7 and an 11. And he's down to like 5 cards in hand, no life, no blocker. And he's just sitting there thinking, and I think we were able to finagle our way into a victory. And it's just things like that, guys, right? The point of me showing this video is not because like, oh, like I won a game, right? How many times do I show videos of me losing games? Almost constantly. But this is a game that I wanted to show because it was actually such a good game, in my opinion, because it goes from like a completely losing position to a winning position to a losing position to a winning position to a losing position, and then to a sneaky little lethal over the course of 3 separate turns. And my opponent just looking at his hand, contemplating if he's even able to block what I'm presenting, because I'm currently swinging with a 7, so he has to deal with a 7, another 7, an 11, with a 5-card hand and only 1 up. And just looking at his hand, it's a 3 1Ks, a 2K, and 2 Blast Breaths. So 3 of them have to go into dealing with 1 7, and then the other 7 will trigger a Blast Breath, and then the 11 will just be lethal. I'm just going to pause the video here because it just showcases that there is no way to go. Had he not swung with Kaido and kept some Dawn up for the Blast Breath, he would have been in a much safer spot, right? I wouldn't have had to do much more, but I did only have 2 cards in hand. The Oden deck has a ton of bricks or cards that just don't have counter power. So I really can't blame him for going for the attack, and 7 is a really nice number, especially when I have 2 cards in hand and looking at my trash. But I do believe that this was just a really good showcase of how you should never scoop. There are just ways that you can get to lethal. It's not always over, you know. There is a potential victory, right? Opium. But that's gonna be the end of the video, and it's gonna be one of the more cooler Oden games. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, learned something, and if you did, please go ahead and leave a like. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave a comment right down below, and go ahead and talk about some better moves that I could have made. I think this is one of the more better games that I actually upload to my channel in terms of my gameplay. So God bless. And as always, guys, if you haven't joined the Pirate Crew and are enjoying the content that I'm providing, do not forget to subscribe, because that really means a lot to my channel and to me. So thank you so much for the support, guys, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.